Hey guys, and welcome to today's Coffee and Christ.
Now, before you go any further, I just have to say I have to be careful about my gestures because the frame that you see that when at the beginning, see, you're laughing already. He goes through and he picks out the silliest photo of me. So I shouldn't have done that.
That
because
one's
that's
going to be
gonna
on
the
there.
one
That's
and
going to be it.
So that will be the freeze frame that you see for this video. It'll be me doing something silly, and he's trying to make me look silly.
It got your attention, didn't it? That's ultimately what this is about.
Okay.
Getting your attention, and now you clicked on this video. It's great.
Yeah, go ahead.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Oh my, I hope you guys are doing great today. In my house, there in one of our closets is a red 3-ring binder that has has many of the cards, the notes, the pictures that my wife gave to me when we were dating. It's just kind of a small scrapbook, a record of the way that we have impacted each other.
Trip down memory lane.
Yeah. And I like to look at it every once in a while. I like to remember how much we've impacted one another. And I'm always amazed as I look at it, how young and what babies we were. It's crazy. Maybe you do the same thing. Maybe if you don't have a scrapbook, maybe you've got one of those wonderful picture frames. You stick the little SIM card in the back of it, or the SD card in the back of it, and then it scrolls through the pictures, and you just have a fun little trip down memory lane as you remember how you've impacted each other's lives and how that impact has affected you.
Yeah.
The Bible kind of reminds me a little bit of a scrapbook. Now, that's not to diminish the Bible's authority and the Bible's power by any means, but the Bible is a record of how God has impacted our lives.
It is a trip down memory lane.
Yeah. And just like your scrapbook or your picture frame there at the house, the Bible's pretty raw in how it presents things, both from on difficult subjects, from a difficult perspective, even up to funny things. Like I'm reminded of the story of Balaam and his donkey. I mean, if your donkey talks to you, first of all, you should go see somebody about that. Mm-hmm. But secondly, you shouldn't talk back. You should leave. You should run. But for some reason, for Balaam, it seems perfectly acceptable to talk to his donkey.
It's crazy.
I mean, if you see me talking to my donkey, please don't take a picture of it. Please don't make any kind of record of it. Just tap me on the shoulder and say, you need to go see somebody, right?
Yeah.
But the Bible records instances like that are just kind of funny and make you go, wait, what in the world is going on? Mm-hmm. It records the difficult, raw moments like David and some of his sins and some of his failures. How the great men of faith still had instances of struggle.
Yeah, and victory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Bible is that for us as well. It points us towards the one who has chosen to get down in the muck and the mire with us, and who chooses every day to pursue us and pursue a relationship with us because he wants to affect our lives.
For eternity. And that's the beauty of this book. As we see from the very beginning, he gives us that picture of what he desires for us to be, and that is in his presence forever. And he puts this amazing plan together that he works and he intercedes and he's active and alive and helping these humans through these raw moments and sins and victories where God is there throughout history to help us and lead us to a place where we can spend eternity with him. What a glorious book it is.
Yeah. It can be tempting to look at the Bible as a history book, just simply a record of everything that has taken past.
And it is.
And it is. It does record everything that has been in the past. But a lot of times with history, we're focused more on what happened and not so much who did it. Mm. Within the Bible, as a little bit of a scrapbook, that trip down memory lane, if you will, it is a record of the one who has impacted our lives and who wants to continue impact our lives. A history book speaks to what has taken place in the past. The Bible, while it does record the past, records the past so that it can speak to our future. God, throughout the Old Testament, introduced himself as, I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the message there is that I was involved in Abraham's life. I was involved in Isaac's life. And I was involved in Jacob's life, and I took care of them. I'm going to take care of you as well. And so as you read your Bible, Avoid the temptation to just view it as a history book. View it as a scrapbook, God's scrapbook to you, if you will. His record of how He has impacted others' lives because He wants to impact your life. A record of how God's love has impacted the past because He desires to impact the future. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May His face shine upon you and give you strength.